You're listening to Soap Dirt, the latest in television entertainment news.
Hey there, Y&R fans. It is Belinda from Soap Dirt, and I have got your Monday, October 2nd through Friday, October 6th spoilers. I've got spoilers for every day of next week, plus a handful of really spicy, undated spoilers that I'm really happy to tell you about. If you haven't seen Friday's episode yet, because you might be watching this Friday morning, there's this spoiler. Audra has a secret and tells someone. Just by the way, this spoiler, if you were excited and thinking, oh, it's a husband, it's a baby. I've seen the episode and I think her big secret was, I've never really been in love with someone. After you guys watch the episode, drop a comment back here if she actually dropped some sort of secret. This was just another of those cases of a terribly written spoiler like they have been throughout the writer's strike. The writers are now back at work. So just exhausting. And also on Friday, Phyllis lies to Jack when he confronts her about hacking into Billy's account. She's, of course, going to lie and deny. And Jack, fortunately, doesn't seem to believe that Billy took the money, but Billy is still thinking about pulling some shenanigans. And then Tucker tells Audra that he's basically key rattling with this very easily traced embezzlement thing because he's trying to distract Jack and Billy while the real plan is at play. And also on Friday, it sounds like Tucker is broke, that maybe Phyllis got the last of his money for that hack because he was talking about how he's been left with nothing. And it definitely sounded like he was talking about money. All right, now let's dig in. If you haven't already, please reach down, click subscribe so you don't miss any of our Y&R updates. Monday, October 2nd, 2023 is the last episode of season 50. It is season 50, episode 255. Nikki Newman is hiring an assistant to work for her over at Newman Media. I guess that means Audra doesn't have to get her coffee anymore. And we are going to see an interview at Society with new girl Claire Grace, played by Hayley Erin, who is back after like 14 years. She played Abby when Abby was a young teen, and now she's back in a whole new role. And she is going to land the job, so she will be working at Newman Media. And I think we're all curious who she is. I hope she's tied to some other characters and that she's not just being dropped in on us, you know. All right, also on Monday, Victor Newman reaches an understanding with Victoria Newman. That's great, but I don't believe it because Victoria is still planning to sabotage him and try and knock him out of the chair. And I think she wants to do it in a way to make sure he can never bounce back. I think she's going to call in his mental health, his fitness to hold the role. She is going to burn the bridge as she is standing on it. Tuesday, October 3rd is episode 1 of season 51. Wow, half a century, people. Well, I guess just wrapping half a century. Nate Hastings compares notes with Victoria. So he's clearly keeping an eye on things at Newman Enterprises and is reporting back to her. But I just don't think Victoria can count on him because if he thinks she's not going to win, I think he will betray her. That's what I think. I think Nate's always going to side with the winning side. Then on Tuesday, we also have Jack Abbott wanting Kyle Abbott to come back to Jabot. And remember, Kyle said the only way he would come back is if he could have the co-CEO job. That's the job that Billy has. And Billy's getting ready to go off the ranch, it seems like, because he still suspects that Jack doesn't trust him. And I think in the back of Jack's head, it has to tickle his brain that Billy is not always trustworthy. So very interesting. And I wonder if Kyle would come back in a different role, still an executive role. I don't know, is Diane the COO? I can't remember what Diane's job is, but I'm sure they can find some C-level job for Kyle to have. Chief Engagement Officer or something. All right, then midweek on Young and the Restless, it's Wednesday, October 4th, episode 2 of the new season. Nick Newman needs some advice from Sharon Newman, and I'm going to give you some more context for that in the undated spoilers below. But I'm pretty sure it is advice about his romantic life, and who should you go to but your ex-wife to discuss your current girlfriend and their issues. We also have Sally busting Adam Newman telling a lie. Well, That's not shocking. Half the time when Adam's lips are moving, he's fibbing. I love him, but you know. Thursday, October 5th in Genoa City is season 51, episode 3. Jill Abbott is back, and not just on a video call. Jess Walton is back on our screens live and in person, and she has got some simmering business from the past to deal with, and I've got some more on that for you in the undated spoilers section. That same day, Diane Jenkins has an important decision to make. And, you know, Billy wants her out of Jabot. She tried to leave before. I'm very interested in what her decision is, because it could be something very simple, like at their party, do we want chocolate cake or vanilla cake? Because spoilers are so puffed up and blown out of proportion lately that just because it says an important decision, I'm going to take a very circumspect wait and see approach to that, because I'll believe it's dramatic when I see it being dramatic. Friday, October 6th is season 51, episode 4. Lauren Fenmore warns Phyllis Summers. Good for her, but Lauren's wasting her breath. Phyllis doesn't listen. Phyllis just lied to Daniel, and I think also to Danny on Friday's episode about finding Stark's accounts and getting the money back so she could repay the insurance company. She's trying to cover her tracks because she's skanking around doing bad things with Tucker McCall. And Lauren's going to warn her again, but warnings just bounce right off of Phyllis. I mean, she's so frustrating, but at the same time, so fun. I just wish she would own her wickedness. Just be bad. Don't even try to redeem. Just go be bad. That's a red that I want to see. What do you guys think? Drop in a little note in the comments. All right. More spoilers for Friday. Jack and Diane are getting ready for their big vow renewal party and celebration. It's going to take place on the back patio of the Abbott mansion. Looks like the exact same spot where Kyle and Summer got married. There's a lot of people there dressed up. It's a big deal. A lot of Genoa City characters are going to be there, and that should kick off the following week. All right, now let's dig into these undated spoilers. I've got 4 of them. So I believe this spoiler here is why Nick needs advice from Sharon. Sally is feeling really guilty about that kiss with Adam. I mean, she didn't slap him. She didn't shove him away. I think she kissed him back just for a second, like it was muscle memory, just like, oh, okay. But Nick comes back, he's back in town. They fell into bed, then he had to run an errand. Now he's back with her, and he tells Sally he's falling more and more deeply in love with her, even though she hasn't said, I love you too. And so she tells him that she just has a hard time saying, I love you. Didn't she say it a lot to Adam, if I recall correctly? Correct me if I'm wrong, but she's feeling really guilty as Nick is talking about all this relationship stuff and his feelings. And so she tells Nick that Adam kissed her, and he is going to lose his mind. And so I wonder if that's what he's going to Sharon about, because it would be easy enough for Nick to keep blaming Adam, but Sally's lips were involved. We also have Jack planning to weaponize Phyllis against Tucker if he has to. Despite Phyllis's lie, Jack knows that she's the one that was hacking into those accounts, and he talks to Billy next week, and they discuss basically having Phyllis do the same thing to Tucker that he had her do to them. So maybe Tucker's plan of distraction is actually genius. I'll believe that when I see it too. Meanwhile, Tucker runs into Adam and tells him that he made an enemy of him by leaking that cover-up info to Jack. I'm sure Adam will be, deeply concerned about that. And then related back to Jill Abbott's return on Thursday the 5th, Jill has a scene with Nate, Devon, Lily, and Mamie. Vicky's there, I think, as Nate's ride along, and Jill is furious and ranting at everybody. And she says she knows there's something else going on underneath all this, and she wants to know what the hell it is. And of course, Mamie now has all of Victor's shares in Chancellor Winters. And even if she's not planning on doing anything, dodgy, that is just going to rub Jill the wrong way. And it's kind of interesting, kind of random to just bring this up after all this time, but also kind of interesting. I'm going to let it slide because I like Mamie. Hey, drop your comments below. Click a like if you enjoyed this Y&R Weekly Spoilers Update, and subscribe if you haven't already. That helps our channel, and we really appreciate it. Check back soon. We're going to have 2-week spoilers, casting news, and a whole pile of other Y&R updates for you. Thanks for tuning in. This has been Belinda from Soap Dirt.
Thank you for being a loyal listener. Follow us wherever you get your podcast, because you don't want to miss the next episode. Soap Dirt is on all the major podcast platforms, including Apple Podcast, Spotify, iHeartRadio, and more.